Recession began, 6.5 million Americans have lost their jobs, and the unemployment rate
Columbia,
has
South Carolina
doubled.
voted unanimously to ban all homeless people from its downtown business area. Violators will be jailed, but those who wish to comply can stay at a shelter just outside the city limits. The catch is that they have to be among the first 240 to get there and are not permitted to leave the grounds by any means other than the official shuttle booked by appointment. It's estimated that Columbia has over 1,500 homeless citizens. Police have been assigned to patrol both the restricted city region and the road near the shelter to make sure no homeless people are meandering around either. Should the officers not catch all of the individuals violating the new plan, business owners and residents are encouraged to call the new hotline set up by the city. According to the councilman who proposed the plan, the removal of several benches throughout the city is another measure being taken to ensure the homeless don't make themselves comfortable. South Carolina's ACLU legal director is looking into the situation and said that giving the limited options of being jailed or shuttled out of town is an abuse of power.
For the past 8 years, Dan Duvall has run a sober living center for about 30 homeless people on his 72-acre ranch. In California, a 66-year-old man was jailed Monday after being accused of illegally housing homeless people on his ranch in San Luis Obispo.
After police received reports of strange activity in the area. Whilst police have found no evidence to support such claims, they have suggested that there is a strong possibility they are linked to the disappearances.
We're talking about a different kind of mystery, though. Disappearances that are not caused by predator attacks or criminals hiding out there in the woods or just bad luck.
I've instructed the Commissioner of Parks and Recreation to issue regulations that would ban outdoor feeding in all city parks.
He was charged with violating Orlando's new city ordinance that bans feeding homeless people gathered in large groups.
Like sleeping on a park bench, eating on sidewalks, or congregating in public spaces, all crimes. This would, in effect, criminalize homelessness.
The regulations are so out of control that in cities all across the U.S., you now have to think twice before giving a hungry person anything to eat.
Transportation, is this an emergency?
You said medical transportation?
Yes.
What organization is this?
This is an ambulance company.
Yeah, because I seen some posting. I seen a posting somewhere about for homeless people.
Oh yeah, well, we provide transportation to the shelters in the sub-degree temperatures on the regular basis. United Way does that through 211.
Oh, okay. Where, like, because, like, in our area, there's, like, when the shelters come, like, they're, like, at full occupancy half the time. Where do they take the people from there if they don't have any room in the shelters?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure. Maybe they transfer to others, but I'm not sure exactly.
Huh. So you guys just basically, you just dispatch them and... Huh.
They transfer them out. They have someone that coordinates that is not on site here, that are out in the ambulance or in the vehicles that are transporting.
Oh, they don't use ambulances to transport them then. They use other means of transportation?
Correct.
Huh. And nobody knows where they take the people when shelters are at maximum occupancy, basically.
They coordinate with the shelters, they speak with the shelters on the people that they're bringing in, and they coordinate to take them somewhere else. Where it is, I'm not sure of exactly how the exact ins and outs of that works.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks so much for your time. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Out there that has passed legislation that is criminalizing homelessness. City council members in Columbia, South Carolina recently voted unanimously to give people on the streets the option to relocate or to get arrested. Now, this stems from concerns that Columbia has become a, quote, magnet for homeless people, according to the city's emergency homeless response report. And council members are urging people that this is just a temporary stopgap measure. That's something that Councilman Cameron Runyon told local station WIS-TV about. Take a listen.
This is stopgap. This is going to open up a window of opportunity for us to come together as a community to develop the long-term response to this problem. This problem has plagued us for a generation and a half at least.
So you can't come up with the long-term response yet. You just start arresting people. I'd say that it's pretty troubling John. And as I mentioned, it's not the first city in the United States that we've seen resort to similar measures.
No, there's a few cities that have done this. And, I know they talk about the fact that there's a off-site homeless shelter that they can ship the homeless they arrest to, but one, they have nowhere near the number of beds that equal the Columbia's homeless population, and two, it's police guarded. They can't leave without permission. They have to be shuttled to and from on a special shuttle bus. So I'm not sure, is this a shelter or prison for the homeless? But at the same time, a lot of cities, we've talked about several cities that have been doing this, cited in the article. Cities obviously are looking at their downtown business districts, want to bring in people, but at the same time, let's look at addressing the root cause of homelessness, not criminalizing, the fact that someone, just doesn't have a home because they may not have the job, they may not have the money. A lot of other cities are looking at other ways to address homelessness, not, arresting them, shipping them out to someplace in the middle of no place and putting them in a shelter that may or may not be homeless jail. So
yeah, well,
very interesting.
It's not addressing the problem. It's just that mentality of locking people up and throwing away the key and trying to just forget about it and not even have to acknowledge or visually see that this problem exists anymore, which I just think is a horrifying development.